Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and this time it is a record unboxing. This is one I've been really excited for many reasons, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Um, but as you can see over here, it is by a band called A Blaze of Feather, and I'm already just gonna start this as I talk because I do have a lot to say. So, A Blaze of Feather is actually the second band or like the alternate band of one of my favorite musicians. Basically, one of my favorite musicians is called Ben Howard, and he is very big in the UK and in many other parts of the world. Um, he, he's made a few songs that actually did become pretty famous here as well. Some of them being, sorry, this thing is just stuck and I don't want to like damage this at all. So some of them are Only Love, Keep Your Head Up, The Wolves, The Fear. So those are some of his biggest ones because his first album was super successful worldwide. But yeah, there we go. So Ben is a pretty cool dude, and but he also doesn't really like a lot of fame. So he actually wanted to take a step back at some point and let his band, and his band is basically all of like his friends. So one of them who he's been friends with like when he started like releasing music was Mickey Smith. So what happens is, or what happened was in about 2017, Ben and the band decided to make a new band, and that's called A Blaze of Feather, where instead of Ben being the focus and Ben's ideas with the band like joining in together, they made it so that Ben and Mickey switch places. So Mickey's now the front singer, and it's like his ideas, and they work with him. And then there's lots of like themes with their songs, like musically, instrumentally, across all of the different formations of the band. Another one's gonna be called Tender Central. That's more India focused. India is the one of the players in the band and one of Ben's longtime friends. Except that the band isn't as involved in her project, just for a few things here and there. And then another one that's releasing pretty soon, which I'll try to make an unboxing video for, which I did order, is Richie with his project RD Thomas. Again, the band's not really involved in that, but they help more. So, but the band is definitely always involved with the Blaze of Feather and on just the Ben Howard formation of the band as well. So this album over here is called Claire's Lane, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want to say I just love that Ben lets his friends have a moment in the spotlight as well, and he can still keep playing music. And the band as a whole, they're just geniuses. They make, as a whole, like each individual, they're just fantastic musicians. They make true music and really creative music. So that's actually what the genre of this album is. It's actually experimental folk. I believe is the best way to describe it. The band as a whole do make folk music, but more towards experimental folk, and it's really cool. Again, the band as a whole, they're like some of my all-time favorite musicians. So Ben Howard and the Blaze of Feathers albums in general is, and when I'm saying Ben Howard right now, I mean like the Ben Howard formation. So the two bands, they just make music that resonate with me so much. Claire's Lane is the fourth album. Technically, it is the third album, fourth if you count the EP that was released before their first album. So it's their third main album, and their second album is literally one of my all-time favorite albums. That album is called Labyrinth. But yeah, so this album took a while to get released, and we'll touch on that on a little bit. But so here we have a pretty nice black border, which is pretty cool. And then we got Claire's Lane over here, and it's a smaller image. I kind of was hoping that this image would be the whole thing, or if they wanted to keep the border, that they would just have like a smaller section of it, because this is a very beautiful picture. And as you can see, it's very matte but oily. It's a very unique kind of texture as well, so it's pretty cool. It does make me feel like it's a painting in a way. And yeah, and the band as a whole is also super creative. They do their own music videos, they do their own like marketing, their own merch as well. I mean, they hire people to do the merch for them, but like it's based off of their styles. And also they do their own photography work as well, because Mickey is one of the main people focused in that. So yeah, so Claire's Lane, as you can see over here, says RIP. Unfortunately, Claire's Lane is an album that talks a lot about people in Mickey's life that are very important to him, and a lot of people that aren't around anymore. And this album is very, very beautiful. I actually wrote a review for this album, and I'll link it in the description below. But let's take a look at the back. This is such a beautiful picture. And then here we have the track list. So there's about 10 to 11 songs. Let's see, actually. Okay, so there's 12 songs. But yeah, the songs here are fantastic. Again, my favorite album from them is their second album, but this one's still just fantastic. This song over here, Half an Eye, is such a fun song. Sentinels is amazing. Valerian and Candy Floss and Corpses is also amazing. There's just such like a great amount of song selections on this one. But it's kind of sad because this album kind of released not too long ago. I believe it was earlier this year, and then we got nothing in there. And even though Ben Howard and his main band, the Ben Howard Band, when it's under that format, their albums always win awards and stuff like that, and especially in the UK. A Blaze of Feather is really also well renowned. It's just not as big as the Ben Howard name. So they're kind of seen more as indie, whereas where Ben Howard is like the big name. So when it's A Blaze of Feather, they are a little bit more indie, but that's fine, and we'll get to that and why that's fine in a minute. But they do deserve so much more recognition than they do. So here we have all songs written and performed by Mickey Smith. Collaborators. Na is another musician on the band as well. And then, as we can see here, Ben Howard. Again, so we got India, Ben, Nat, obviously Mickey, and Kyle Keegan is the drummer, and Alan Wilson helps with the promotional stuff as well. And then there's Richie, which I'm not seeing over here. Yeah, I'm not seeing Richie. So I guess Richie didn't really help with this one that much, unless I'm just not seeing it. And yeah, see. And then we got this beautiful thanks. Loving gratitude to my family, friends, and collaborators. Your hearts brought these songs to life on so many levels. To Rivi, none of this happens without all of you guys. Without all that you give. To my children, thank you forever. I think it's a cute little thing, but Mickey writes thank you always together. Dedicated to Cherry, Ali, and Claire. Again, these are all people that have died, and Cherry is his sister. And I believe Al, there's a song here for him, right over there. And then there's Clock Hands from their previous album that was dedicated to Cherry. There's a bunch of songs that's actually dedicated to Cherry as well. Claire, who this album is named after. But Al was basically like a big mentor to Mickey, and Mickey has just a very interesting story in general. So I think Ava is his daughter. I'm not too sure. It's definitely either his daughter or his wife. But yeah, so it's so I'm still looking to see if Richie is in this one, but I guess he didn't help with this one. But yeah, that's mostly all the band missing Richie. So yeah, so Al, from my understanding, was basically Mickey's dad in a way. He was like a father figure for Mickey, and he taught Mickey about music. He taught Mickey about so much stuff about life and all that stuff. So it's very touching for sure. And Mickey's just a fantastic guy in general. So this is from the music video Half an Eye. It's just such a fun music video. And I actually want to get something. Well, I'll show you guys it in a minute, but yeah, all of this is like from their stuff. So Half an Eye is definitely an interesting one. It's definitely fun for sure. But with A Blaze of Feather being a more indie kind of one. Oh wow, this is beautiful. I knew it was gonna be blue and translucent, but I saw a picture of another one earlier, and this is so much deeper than that. This is more like how it looked like on the actual website. And I do definitely have to clean it up just because, you know, there's flakes in there. But there's like this marble pattern that you guys can see like right over here throughout all of it. Like the camera is not picking it up so much. And you guys can see there. But yeah, I'm just so excited for this. So again, this album has been out for a very long time now. It's been out since I think February or something like that. And sorry I'm talking really low. It's almost 3 a.m. right now. This is the only time I was able to do this video, especially because my family was, you know, talking a lot, making a lot of noise today because it is the weekend. So I didn't want to record this earlier. But yeah, so it's kind of upsetting because A Blaze of Feather is still seen as indie in a way. They actually the vinyl printing companies actually ended up delaying so many records just because there's been a lot of like albums and a lot of records just being repressed or released for the first time. So for a lot of indie publishers such as A Blaze of Feather, they kind of pushed the indie people down. And again, this released at the start of the year, and now it's literally November 18 or 19. This arrived today, November 19. And I actually woke up with it. My brother was like, "Oh, what is this?" And then I was showing it to him, like the band, because he seemed really interested in the band as well. So I also ordered Ben Howard's Burr Island EP 10th anniversary. I ordered 2 of those. One of those came. I'm gonna unbox the other one when the other one comes, and I'll show the other one that came. But the other one that came is like a translucent vinyl one. The one that is coming is a signed copy, so that's what I'm gonna be unboxing. But yeah, so unfortunately they pushed aside the indie labels and the indie bands records. So this took like almost a year to be pressed and released. But again, the album itself in digital format has been out for a while, and it's a fantastic album. But and this is what I meant by like I like that they're indie, and I'll show you why in a minute. Also, I just realized this does not say thank you to Island sorry, it does not say thank you to Island Records for allowing us to use Ben Howard in this, because all of the other Blaze of Feather albums, it does say that like special thanks to Island Records for allowing us to use Ben Howard, because Ben Howard his label is Island Records, so he's under them. But A Blaze of Feathers independent, and just, you know, contracts and stuff like that. They had to say that before, so I'm surprised they kind of didn't need to now. I don't really remember if Labyrinth and Claire's Lane was released under Hell Up Records, which is actually Ben's own record label. But A Blaze of Feathers' first EP and first album was released under Hell Up Records. Which is pretty cool that Ben made his own record label and wants to release his friend's stuff there. Again, I just love this band so much. They really try to support each other. But one of the stuff that I love about them that kind of shows that, like, that's the nice nature about being indie is I actually bought this book. This book comes from A Blaze of Feathers website, and you can see over there it's written, and I don't think it's signed, I think it just has a written on it. And then this one is number 21 out of 300. So Mickey Smith, and so yeah, they released a photo book about them and their waves because they're also big surfers, and it's just really, really cool. And again, this is all like pictures that A Blaze of Feather and Mickey and Will take. I just love this atmosphere so much. They just take such great pictures. And then what's really cool is every now and then, and I love all of the band's lyrics. Their lyrics are just as amazing as their poetries. As their instrumentations. Strange alchemy in movements, wild reflections feared, unloved. They conjured purpose in child lost. But then over here we have that translation in Cornish. I believe that's the language because Mickey is from Cornwall. And he also speaks their language. So it's pretty cool that he's even trying to bring forth some recognition to, these ones are so beautiful. To, you know, like just bands in Cornwall and try and support them. This is all from Cornwall as well. And these are in some of their music videos. It's just really, really cool that, and then they have like a lot of like, you know, a lot of like Stonehenge related stuff there, and you can really feel that essence of Cornwall in their Labyrinth album, I believe, the most. And then again, so in English and then in Cornwall or Cornish. And yeah, I'm not gonna flip through all of this, but like it's just so cool. And then you just have some of them hanging out. So it's just really nice how like they all support each other. And I just feel like this isn't really something you would get from like a big record company. And I love the ocean, I love things like that. So no, I thought that was Ben for a second, but it's not. So yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of good things here. And like this is so how Cornwall looks. It's just so beautiful. I really want to go to like these areas one day. But anyway, I'm not gonna flip through that whole book. And then we have here, research the coast for sacred salt, and then it in Cornish. So yeah, I like that they do that, but I just bring this out because I never seen any videos about A Blaze of Feather, like unboxings and stuff like that, and I always wanted to do this video for that. This I bought a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago, with a lyric book that Seafret, another band that I love, had released as well. But yeah, so this is really, really cool. Definitely try to support them, guys. A lot of these things here are also from a movie that they actually just released. It's like 20 minutes long. Definitely go watch that out. It's called Hornos Jorna. I'll definitely leave the link to that in the description as well, so you guys can check it out. And they made music for it. They filmed it. It's 19 minutes, like I said, and it's been winning some pretty good awards in some film festivals that they've been releasing it in. So again, this band is just super creative as a whole. But like I said, because of the constant delays with Claire's Lane, I was shocked and surprised. And this is what I meant about being an indie developer. Sorry, not developer. I'm thinking video game terms, but being an indie, whatever you are, developer, musician, it gives you the opportunity to be with your fans and the people that support your work. Mickey is always responding to people. Like on his socials. He's responded to me many times. He's read some of my reviews a lot, and he even remembered when I sent him my review for Claire's Lane. He's like, "Hey, your review was fantastic, just as much as I loved it for when you wrote the review for Labyrinth." So like, he even remembered that, and I thought that was really nice. Um, and like, they're always posting stuff on social media. So yeah, definitely give a Blaze of Feather a chance. They really deserve it. I don't suggest starting with the third album because the third album, this one is very, very different. Definitely listen to the first EP and then the first album more first, because those are more traditional folk with a little bit of experimental. And then Labyrinth, and then especially this one, is just straight out experimental folk, and I love it. Again, my favorite is Labyrinth. But I was surprised because I was expecting just the album. But what came as well was that Mickey himself, and you'll understand why in a minute, also sent merch, and I didn't pay for this merch. Again, I paid for this book and the other merch before, but this came months ago. These things that I'm going to show you now came now, like today with the album. So this really surprised me, and it made me feel like, oh yeah, the band does love their fans and the people they talk to. So we got this tote bag, and it's just so nice. And then we got the logo there, a Blaze of Feather. And then here in the back, we got some of the little tours that they were doing throughout the year this year, or around 2017, I guess. But it's still pretty nice that they did that. And especially because this was not something I had. I was also really surprised to see some pins. Now, when Labyrinth came out, in fact, let me just grab Labyrinth. So here's Labyrinth. This is not damaged. This is like how it's supposed to be, and it's a pretty cool aesthetic. But yeah, so when Labyrinth came out, I actually bought almost everything that was on their merch store. There was only like 2 or 3 things I didn't buy. One of those things was pins. I didn't buy pins. So, and I love this, stay strange, because I am strange. And I love the magpie logo as well. I actually bought a shirt with this on. It's the silhouette of a bird called a magpie. So it was nice that they ended up sending us some pins. So that's pretty cool. As well, like they sent us pins with this. Again, it's not to promote this album. This was more of a thank you for waiting. And the reason why I say this is because they also sent this. It's a picture of the band playing. Specifically, that's Mickey over there. And this made me even more appreciative of the band because they actually took the time. And sorry, I have to cover it up over here. But Mickey himself, with this picture, wrote it. Thank you for your patience. He drew a Cornish symbol there, which also looks like the Star of David. Take care, Mickey. And I'm covering this section up because he actually wrote my name on it. So I just think that that's just really, really sweet that they went about doing this. And, it kind of lines up exactly with the book, where Mickey himself also wrote a couple things here, and then he drew the same thing over here. So yeah, and then see Mickey. So it's just so nice that they took the time to actually package these up and send it to their fans and wrote their names on it. I haven't seen anyone else post something like this, not even on Reddit, if they got this. But I'm assuming most people did. At least the ones that actually pre-ordered the album and like waited out the entire year for it. So this is what I mean by indie stuff. It's nice. It really shows like, you know, it just shows that they care. And yeah, I just think it's beautiful. I'm just gonna do a final shot real quick with all of the A Blaze of Feathers albums out, and then we'll end this video. So here we have all of the A Blaze of Feathers stuff. Again, they take their own pictures, all of this. This is Mickey's daughter. That's their first album. It's just called A Blaze of Feather, the album. This is just called EP1, and then this is Labyrinth, and then Claire's Lane. So, and how this feels is very similar to how the Labyrinth, the A Blaze of Feather album feels. And this honestly is some of the best like production for an album I've seen. Like it's just such high quality. Yeah, you guys should just definitely look into this. And then there's even like a little book in here on the inside. Yeah. So with all that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do really recommend you guys listen to A Blaze of Feather. Definitely keep in mind, if you're going to listen to EP1, it is very slow at first, and it's very, very dark. And Claire's Lane, A Blaze of Feather, like the album, the first album, please ignore my earphone over there. It is more sunsetty vibe. A good thing about like their promotional stuff is they really promote how it looks like the songs here are definitely like this. The image captures it perfectly. Sorry. A Blaze of Feather, album 1. This image literally captures the vibe of those music perfectly. Very sunsetty, very foresty, very green, very like cold but warm. Labyrinth captures it perfectly. Waves, cliffs, somberness, like it's just so great. And then over here, like this color scheme, and then with this like sunsetty sky, it like definitely shows that so well, like the vibes of it. So yeah, guys, this is A Blaze of Feather. I'll kind of do something a little bit similar to this when I unbox the Burr Island 10th anniversary. So I definitely recommend, or for Ben Howard. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check this band out and give them some support, because like the band as a whole, because they all really, really deserve it. They're just fantastic people, and you know, from what I've seen and the little bit I've talked with them as well, and they're just fantastic musicians and artists and poets as well. So with all that said, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.